Welcome to Behind the Glasses with Sam J. I'm definitely not Sam J.
And who the fuck are you? Welcome to Behind the Glasses with Sam J. Welcome back, folks. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're on episode number 11 now, I think. So we're in the double digits now. So let's keep going. Now today, I didn't get a chance to do The Last Dance Part 3 and 4. But now I'm going to combine it all into Part 3, 4, 5, and 6. But quick, let me just sum up episode 3 and 4. Dennis Rodman is crazy, but a damn good basketball player. Alright, that's it. That's all you need to know about episode 3 and 4. Really, I'm really not even kidding. That's pretty much what it's mostly about. Episode 5 and 6. Now this is where I think I started to get more into like the meat of the actual documentary. Obviously, 7 and 8 are gonna be crazy, and then 9 and 10 are gonna be probably even more crazy. You really see in 5 and 6 that you see the dream team part. You see MJ with like not his gambling problem, but like how much he's into gambling. Night at Atlantic City, where he drops 50 points on the Trailblazers the next night. The guy was just an animal, and you really realize that even the highest caliber of player or athlete or whatever you want to call it, anybody who's the best of their in their field, they need some outlet. They need some kind of release to get their mind off things, to just get them away from what they love for a minute. And MJ's was smoking cigars and betting copious amounts of money on golf, or to gamble as well. His competitive edge is actually more of an addiction than him wanting to gamble. Now, those can kind of go hand in hand sometimes, but the guy, he did say himself, which I can kind of back him a little bit, his gambling didn't consume him. Like, he wasn't like gambling his cars, his championship rings, he wasn't gambling on games he's playing and stuff like that. It was all just like friendly money bets, or like, because he didn't like to lose. So if he lost a hole, he'd be like, all right, I'll bet you next hole. All right, next hole, which is a bit of what gets gamblers into trouble. I'm not the best person to talk about gambling advice, because my first time into a casino, I spent about $40. I came out with $200, which is pretty neat. The second time, I went to Vegas, and that just didn't go out well. I lost $100. That was $100 American, so I don't know how much you converted to Canadian, because I'm a peasant and can't figure that out at the moment. But anyways, I digress. I'm not the best gambling advice person, giver. English. Well, one of my favorite parts from parts 5 and 6 was the dream team part. Again, I've kind of said this a couple times with my other videos. I guess my other videos. I'm gonna do one other video with Jordan. I felt like in my age group, I'm guessing people born in like the mid to late 90s who didn't see Jordan in his prime. They only saw highlights. He heard people talk about him and things like that. You really see how damn good this guy was, and he really established himself among like the greats in this at the dream team. When you see the fabled best game, like best practice ever, whatever you want to call it, where you have Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, like everybody who's a first ballot Hall of Famer was essentially on that team, and they played a 5-on-5 game, and Jordan just got it going. He finished it off, and he kind of made his presence of being like, you know what, I'm the top dog in the league right now. Like, everybody bow the fuck down. It was pretty much there anyways, but to do it against a team of fucking Hall of Famers on both sides with him and against him, that just made me be like, yo, like I'm the best. Deal with it. That was kind of cool, and it's cool like learning the backstory of why he put I almost said the Canadian flag. That'd be fucking awesome if he did. But the American flag around him, so you wouldn't see the Reebok logo, because he was that against wearing any other brand than like Nike and other brands he was sponsored by. Especially nowadays, you couldn't probably even do that. You'd probably get fined, or people like, oh, hey, why'd you do that, or this, that, and the other, just because branding is it's just everywhere now. It's just like every NBA uniform has a company, a corporate sponsor by them. Every athlete has a shoe deal, this deal, a boatload of endorsements. It would have been a huge deal now, but how he handled it back then was pretty impressive. Also, another part slash, I guess you could say, players involved were his games against the Utah Jazz. And might get more into them maybe in the next episode or two, but like playing against John Stockton and Karl Malone, where Stockton's, you could say, you know, it's Magic, Isaiah Thomas, and Stockton. You can argue between those three who the best point guard is. Although I saw Charles Barkley make a good point. Like, Magic's the best is just because he's just a freak of nature, just an all-around just beast. But like pure point guard, you could say between Stockton and Isaiah Thomas, because they both weren't like big flashy guys like Magic was, who's gonna do dunks and stuff like that. They were just pure, like, passing the ball, you know, making the right play, being a leader, being a dog on the court, and just, you know, things like that. So get Jordan playing those guys and not letting them get a ring, it almost kind of sucks, because Karl Malone, he's the second highest point scorer in NBA history without a ring. And that's not just because he was on shitty teams getting all the points, because he's on a damn good team, you know, winning games, but you always just had to meet Jordan or somebody else where you couldn't get there. It was nice to learn more about those players, and also, you know, Sir Charles Barkley, as people like to call him. He tried to beef with Draymond Green, and I'm sorry, Draymond, you might have more rings than Charles, but Charles is a way better player than you are. Just stop. Like, this, it's no contest. You can argue the 3 rings, but that's pretty much it for me. Other than that, like, the argument is Charles. Anyways, that was cool seeing him play that series. And you did see that the Bulls weren't like I'll say they went to game 6, I think, against the Suns. So the Bulls weren't like, yes, they were a goddamn powerhouse, but it's not like they were like invincible. You could beat them. So it was kind of cool to see that part. So those were kind of stood out to me watching part 5 and 6. Well, I watched part 5, and then I watched Rick and Morty, the new episode of Rick and Morty. If you guys haven't checked that out, it's actually pretty good. Solid episode. Not the best one, but a pretty good episode. And then I watched part 6 right after. So I had a nice evening of watching good content I like, which is nice because I've been fiending for some more sports, even though right now as I'm filming this, the NFL schedule has just been released. So that's pretty cool. And also, the MLB has announced, I think July 1st will be opening day. So if there is sports on the horizon, people, just keep hanging tight. I think Spanish soccer league starting like end of May. So like, we're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Just slug out these next couple weeks, and I think this summer is gonna be fucking wild. Like, sports are gonna become out the wazoo. People are gonna be start slowly coming out of their houses. I get there's gonna be some apprehension, where people might not want to jump, you know, full balls to the wall or go on a big vacation, because some countries might even open up their borders, things like that. But I do think we are getting closer and closer to some kind of normalcy through this whole COVID nonsense. Although I do wish you guys are all staying safe. Although with this stuff, it seems like maybe coming to some kind of normalcy. Still try to keep your head on a swivel. Still try to, you know, be smart and forward thinking, and try to just think of other people instead of just ourselves when we get back to some kind of normalcy here, because we're all in this shit together, because nobody wants to have a relapse of this shit and everybody has to go back indoors for God knows how long. So as long as we just don't be idiots, do your thing. I know we all want to go on a big luxurious vacation or go to a bar and get goddamn shit faced, or just go to a bar and watch a fucking sports game and have over a pound of wings and a beer. That will come. Just a little more patience, and we'll get there, folks. And you can keep watching my YouTube, and also you can watch People Flavored as well, because we have some cool stuff coming up for People Flavored in the future. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more Behind the Glass with Sam J. And I'm gonna wrap this up here. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.